community leaders following Jacob Blake's much-protested shooting by police.
Biden will meet with the family of Jacob Blake, something President Trump did not do while on his trip to Kenosha. Biden made the announcement from Wilmington, Delaware, slamming the president for his handling of the coronavirus and telling him to get off Twitter.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. There's a new Fox poll giving Biden an 8-point lead in Wisconsin, a 4-point edge in North Carolina. He's ahead by 9 in Arizona, states that went Trump red in 2016.
The president is seen as equal to or better than Biden on the economy, while likely voters in all 3 states say Biden would be better in battling COVID-19.
Fox's Colonel Scott. Now, the president's defended his corona response, saying his administration's been fast-tracking vaccine research. Fox's Evan Brown has the latest live.
Yeah, Dave, and perhaps the first vaccine could be ready when November begins. A letter from the CDC's director sent to governors last week and now being reported instructs states to be ready to start taking delivery of vaccine doses by November 1st, and that states will soon receive permit applications from McKesson Corporation, which is a pharmaceutical distributor. A number of candidate vaccines are in the midst of accelerated clinical trials, but the FDA has not yet granted approval for them, Dave.
We have a new protest over another deadly shooting of a black man, Washington this time.
Angry residents gathered outside a Southeast D.C. police station. Police Chief Peter Newsham says officers were acting on a tip.
Information that they had relative to some subjects who had guns in a vehicle in this area.
Police spotted the car as they approached it. Its occupants took off running. In a statement, D.C. police say that when one of them, an 18-year-old man, pointed a gun at them, police fired.
Fox's Jack Callahan. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special end-of-summer announcement from Dell. At our Labor Day sale, small businesses can save up to 50% on select business computers with Intel Core processors. We're committed to taking your business to the next level. Give our small business technology advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business with Labor Day savings. Visit Dell.com/business deals or call us at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is the Frells family. They live on a piece of land they call greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land. It's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
A sheriff's deputy is in critical condition in Georgia after a traffic stop went wrong in Augusta. The driver took off, dragging the deputy. He was taken into custody after a manhunt. In Texas, an ex-cop's in trouble over a traffic stop. Nathaniel Brown indicted for assault.
Fired after beating a bystander, 24-year-old Skylar Gilmore. Gilmore happened to be with a friend who was recording video of a traffic stop outside of Baytown Market. Brown walks across the parking lot to confront Gilmore, then throws him to the ground. Brown is seen using his knee to strike Gilmore in the face.
Natalie He with Fox 26 TV. All the money Congress approved in this corona crisis ballooned the federal deficit to a projected $3.3 trillion.
And it comes as the feds see a drop in tax revenues. Individual income tax collections are down about 11%, while corporate tax collections are down 34%.
Fox's Jill Nato on Wall Street ahead of the weekly unemployment numbers due out this hour. Stock futures are down. One of baseball's greatest pitchers has died. Hall of Famer Tom Seaver was 75. He had dementia, coronavirus complications. Seaver's biggest year, winning the 1969 World Series with the New York Mets.
We never put our heads between our legs, and we always fought, and it's the greatest feeling in the world.
In the NBA playoff bubble in Orlando,
James Harden's defense sending the Houston Rockets to the second round.
Houston got its hands on it. Dort for three, blocked by Harden. Dort got it back, tried to throw it off Harden, and missed him.
Call courtesy of ESPN. Harden with the block on Luguentz Dort, forcing a turnover that would end up helping to clinch it for the Rockets as they defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder and advance with a 4-3 series win. And Jimmy Butler sinking 2 free throws after a foul as time expires to give the Miami Heat a bizarre Game 2 win over the Milwaukee Bucks, 116-114. Heat now with the 2-0 series edge on the top seed Bucks in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
In hockey's playoffs, Colorado beat Dallas. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Well, who had a buffalo that got loose? That's what I don't get.
There's over a dozen from the farm.
So there's a buffalo farm in Muhammad?
No, Monticello.
Monticello. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Diane told me here that there's a buffalo that got loose at...
But it was over a dozen that got loose and held up school traffic yesterday.
I just didn't know we had a buffalo ranch out in Monticello.
Right.
All right. Well, dang it. We got to get that fence fixed. Dang it.
Remember we had the meat people on when COVID-19 was first starting.
Oh, that's theirs?
I don't know,
okay,
but I was thinking that when I saw the story.
Yeah,
but
okay.
And there's still a couple of loose, actually. So there's a kind of a heightened alert, and they're saying, do not approach the buffalo.
So you don't say...
or try to get a selfie next to it.
I wouldn't do the selfie. No, they can charge you, people.
Exactly.
Okay, good morning. It's Thursday. This is the 3rd of September. I was best man 42 years ago today for Johnny and Bobby.
Nice.
Yeah, best man. Their wedding, that was in Monticello, but there were no buffalo. That was at the Methodist Church, which is something else now, I think. Anyway, good morning. Weather this morning brought to you by the College of Aces. Agriculture, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences is more than meets the eye. Explore opportunities at aces.illinois.edu. Good morning, Diane Ducey.
Morning, Stevie. Areas of dense fog this morning with this advisory going until 10 a.m. So if you're not sure if your headlights are on automatic, make sure you just get out and take a look and fiddle with them to make sure your headlights are on, especially if you're going through some low-lying areas. Partial clearing later on. We do have a 20% chance of rain, high 86 expected, and down to 51. Tomorrow, very pleasant, sunny, high 77, low 57. Then Saturday and Sunday, we're up to 82. We could see some morning showers on Sunday, a 40% chance of that, and the current temperature is at 63. Another trending story that I've been talking about with friends of mine. What are we doing with these U of I students? We're coming into the Labor Day holiday weekend.
I've got the letter. We'll read it for you.
Okay.
Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by.
The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie sky is wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas.
In Dallas, Texas-based businessman, co-founder and chairman of Annandale Capital, and conservative political leader. He is Texas. George C., how are you, sir?
Boy, I never get tired of that song. It makes my day every time you play that. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, your grandfather was Bill Clements, who was governor of Texas in the 80s. You actually helped on the campaign. Before we get to stuff, how do we feel about oil, George? Are we coming back with that thing or not?
Gosh, that's a great question. I wish I was better at predicting commodity prices. I'm terrible at it, and I think most people are terrible at it. And the reality is we're going to have a couple of hundred more companies go bankrupt at $42 oil. Oil's got to get back over 50 for that industry to even scrape by. And natural gas has got to stay above $2.50 a foot, if not $3 a foot, for that industry to thrive. So it's a little bit ironic that the oil and gas industry has come back so strongly that they did it on borrowed money, and now they're in jeopardy of being able to continue to operate as a going concern, and a lot of them are going to go bankrupt. And it's really imperative for our country that these industries stay sound, because it gives us so much geopolitical power when we're energy independent, control our own destiny and energy. And the left's assault on fossil fuel companies is really, really strange. The ironic part of that is if Biden wins and bans fracking on public lands, and the regulatory agencies start preventing any pipelines from being built and all that, it's going to definitely send commodity prices higher, because supply is going to come off and you won't be able to meet demand.
Well, you're going to get a Green New Deal. I mean, I would think if Joe Biden wins, I mean, the direction will be clear. Even no matter what the former vice president says, you just know there are going to be people that he's not going to push back on a lot, I wouldn't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. He's not going to get down in the weeds on the details of the regulatory state persecuting fossil fuel companies. That's just going to happen. I mean, there's only a certain number of things the president can do, and we all look at the president as the leader of the country, but the reality is there's 330 million people in America, and the federal government spends this ridiculous amount of money every year now, and this year we're going to run a $4 trillion deficit. And there's only so much the president can do. It's the deep state, the Leviathan bureaucratic state that really runs everything, and it can be a really harsh, cruel overseer.
What do you think happens, George C.? What's happening here in 60 days?
Well, I think it's going to all come down to whether the last 20, 30 days and the 5 to 15% of voters who still have an open mind, it's not a big group of people. And I think they're going to break real hard one way or another. And if they break really hard for Trump, I think he squeaks by. If they break really hard for Biden, I think he'll blow him out. So I think it's one of those two scenarios. I think, and we're going to find out, I think, closer to the date. If Trump wins, I think the way you go back and analyze his victory was these riots and the Democrats not condemning these riots or even talking about them in their convention, which is just, it's disgusting. And then the really, really outstanding appeal to black and Hispanic voters that the president and his people did at the Republican convention, that was really masterfully well done. And if he doubles the black vote that he got from last time and increases the Hispanic vote, game over. He wins all the states where it's really close. Those are the factors I would pay attention to, and whether the riots really resonate with the average American voter versus the virus. What's everybody focused on?
Everybody's focused on the virus right now. Here at the University of Illinois, we've just been told to shut in. I mean, you're at University of Illinois as a student, George, and you're not supposed to do anything except all the essentials. And if you meet, you can get suspended. And if you host a party, you'll get suspended. I mean, why did we come back? It's nuts.
Yeah, this was so predictable. Gen Z just could care less about this bug because they know that when they get it, they may not even have symptoms, and they'll just go about their lives. So they're very irresponsible about the way they're handling it, and it just spreads like wildfire through university campuses. North Carolina did the same thing, and so the opening up process, it's just a nightmare. And we've got to get an effective treatment for this, not in a year, but within the next 3 to 6 months. We got to get it quick.
You think we will?
No, I don't. I hope I'm wrong, though. I mean, a lot of really smart people are putting an awful lot of energy into getting something sooner rather than later. But I think the problem is when you listen to the scientists, they all say this just takes time. You just can't do this overnight. And, they've been feverishly working on it for about 4 months now. If they could get a vaccine sometime before the June of next year, in the first half of next year, I think that would be a blistering pace. So to expect we're going to get a vaccine before the election or before the end of the year or even early next year, I think that's kind of magical thinking, but I'd love to be wrong about that.
Well, it's I've never felt a time in my life that's like right now. I've just never. I mean, it is so polarized, and I've never ever thought that the United States of America would have discussions about removing the Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial and things like that because of racism and cancel culture. We got to stand up to that.
Well, it's lunacy. It's basically the Twilight Zone, and I think the problem comes back to where you had Dr. King inspiring everyone in the late '60s, saying, "I want a colorblind society where my kids are judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin." Well, today it's all about the color of your skin with these systemic racism claimants and these people who are trying to divide us by race. And someone who basically their family immigrated from Jamaica in 1960, or somebody who immigrated from Ghana in 2000, I think the race baiters on the left are having a field day telling these people that they have nothing to do with George Washington and even Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson, and these people were bigoted white plantation slavers, even though they way overstate all those cases in some respects. And I think they're convincing a lot of Americans that come from very different backgrounds than someone who immigrated from England in 1750 or Scotland in 1768. They're saying, you're not with those people, and they're trying to divide us, and they're having some success with that, which is terrible. I mean, it's outrageous. You look on our currency, and it says e pluribus unum. Out of many, we become one. And that's what America's about. And these people who are being brainwashed by this, we've got to do a better job convincing people that we need to come together, not be torn apart by radicals on the left.
Lincoln, Nebraska, man demands boneless chicken wings be renamed. This is where we are, George. This is where we are. Took time at the city council to explain why, and there's nobody in the room except the city council. George C., those that fail to learn from their history are destined to repeat it. Are we going to repeat? This is just head shaking.
We got to stay optimistic. America is a land of optimism, and even though Trump makes it difficult because he just has such negative rhetoric, we got to go back to Reagan, at least from one respect, that this country is a shining city on the hill. Mm-hmm. It's the best hope for mankind, not just America, but worldwide. And we've got to fixate on that because it's an ideal that we have to defend with our honor and with our lives and with our families. It's worth that much. And I'm optimistic. I think we'll get through this, and I think this division's going to fade in time. The riots in the late 60s faded with time.
Yeah.
We're just going through a bit of a temper tantrum in our country, and we'll get over it. We'll get through it.
George C., S-E-A-Y, Annandale Capital, commentator. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Love being on your show. Thanks a bunch.
George C. down in Dallas, Texas, ESPN 93.5. You're always welcome to chime in at 359-2255. Facebook message us as well. 716, Diane's got sports.
Well, the Cardinals got 2 out of 3. Cincinnati Reds on top yesterday. The final was 4-3, and a well-deserved day off from the St. Louis Cardinals. Boy, they've been hard at it. Let's get your Redbird Recap.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Central Bank, your hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals have a day off today in Chicago. They'll open a 5-game series over 4 days beginning tomorrow night at 7:15 at Wrigley Field. But last night, the Redbirds dropped a 1-run decision after just blasting the Reds 16-2 the night before.
They couldn't close out the series, but they did get a good start from Johan Oviedo. He did give up a few runs, but the Cardinals were in it. They had their chance in the 9th inning. They had the bases loaded with 1 out. Couldn't come up with a hit or a sacrifice fly to put themselves ahead in the 9th. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Joey Votto, one of the game's best hitters over the last 10 years, came up with a base hit to right center on an 0-2 pitch to send the Cardinals home a loser.
2 walks set up the game-winning hit for Votto after the Cardinals had the bases loaded and couldn't score in the top of the 9th. So it's the Redbirds and the Cubs beginning tomorrow night. Yu Darvish against Jack Flaherty on the air at 6:20. The Reds won 4-3.
We believe in the perfect game, the hard nine, the gas house game, backflips, and Uncle Charlie, Clydesdales, scorecards, and hitting the cutoff man. 2 birds on 1 bat, hanging banners, and that next year is now. We believe in Cardinals Nation.
Central Bank believes in being the hometown bank of the Cardinals. Welcome to Cardinals Checking for those who believe. Sign up for free Cardinals Checking with Central Bank and get an exclusive Cardinals 11-time champions jersey and 2 game tickets. Find out more at cardinalschecking.com. Restrictions apply. 1 offer per household while supplies last. Member FDIC.
All right, the Cubs win over Pittsburgh. That final was 8-2. It's a 12:35 first pitch over on US 105.9. Alec Mills for the Cubs is on the mound, and then JT Brubaker for the Pirates. Minnesota over Chicago White Sox. That final was 8-1. They've got a 7:05 start.
$7:19. Going to check your weather here coming up. I do have the chancellor's email, the mass email that was sent to all the students at the University of Illinois about the new rules that went into effect 5 o'clock last night. Yeah, pretty intense. Like 3 or 4 pages here I've got in front of me. And we will give you the details of what the chancellor and other leaders at the University of Illinois are asking for. Going to be a real quiet weekend, they hope, for Labor Day weekend. We'll see. But they went after some of these partiers that really haven't done what they're supposed to do. And so we had a spike in testing, and not testing, spike in positive cases. Weather today, watch the fog. It is definitely thick in parts. Be careful as you drive. Have your headlights on. Temperature today, right about 79, maybe touching 80, 84-ish. Well, then, kind of temperatures coming down next Thursday. Heck, the high's going to be like 69. High today expected 84. High tomorrow just 76. Saturday up to 80. Chance of rain on Sunday in 82. Currently 63 degrees. Fox Business Minute brought to you by Rob Meyer, Provident Financial Group in Champaign, where partnerships are built on trust. Find Rob at Provident Financial Group, LLC. FoxNews.com. The chancellor's letter to the U of I students.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The market will be responding today to the number of new claims for unemployment benefits in the last week of August. Amazon is expanding in the UK. It's creating 7,000 new jobs there for warehouse workers, engineers, IT, HR professionals, and other positions. Hooker Furniture says sales were down more than 14% in its recent quarter, though business started picking up in mid-May and hasn't let up since. Chairman Paul Toms Jr. says factories shut down for 4 weeks in the spring, then slowly ramped up during the summer. Target is adding 600 products to its own brand Good & Gather, including new pizzas, meatless burgers, and honey vanilla butter. Target tells USA Today the new options will be available by early next month. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Subscribe and listen to the Trey Gowdy Podcast.
So if the country is a center or center-right country, racing to the edges is a recipe for what we have right now, which is division. And of course, we are told the Senate is where the adults are. Of the 50 states, 9, by my count, have both a Republican and a Democrat senator. 9.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. America's listening to Fox News.
Okay, Illinois mass mail came out yesterday, 1:16 p.m. About 3 pages, Diane, about...
Yes, from the chancellor.
Yeah, and others there also signed it.
All right.
Over the past few days, her irresponsible actions of a small number of students have created the very real possibility of ending in-person semester for all of us. Their poor choices have led to a concerning and rapid increase in the number of new undergraduate COVID-19 positive cases. For 2 weeks, starting now, which was last night, we are intensifying our efforts to identify and swiftly remove individuals who have created this unacceptable risk for our campus and community, who have undermined your hard work to stay together. Students who continue to violate our safety policies, who fail to comply with directions from our public health officials, and engage in unsafe activities that risk spreading the virus, will be asked to leave this university. We believe the damage done by those individuals can be reversed, but it must be done quickly. For 2 weeks, beginning last night at 5 p.m., for your own protection, we expect all undergraduate students to limit their in-person interactions to only the most essential activities. Things like twice weekly COVID-19 tests, attending class, purchasing groceries and food, going to work, engaging in individual outdoor activity. Individual? Am I going to play soccer by myself?
Why? Hacky sack.
Yeah. Attending religious services and seeking medical attention. Here's the hardest part. We need you to strictly avoid social gatherings under any circumstances for 2 weeks. And apparently they're going to have like a little line where you tell on people. Eek. Some students have ignored the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District directives to isolate or quarantine. Some students who have tested positive are actively avoiding our contact tracers. Some have repeatedly returning to testing facilities to take out another one to see, hey, it's not, I don't have it, and you can't do that. Some students have made active efforts to circumvent the Safer Illinois app. Over the weekend, we received 11 complaints about large gatherings. There were 100 party-related calls.
Mm-hmm.
What did we expect? I know there's just no way you thought that was going to work. You closed all the bars. I said they're going to go underground. It's 100% likely. Now they're really mad. And they're going to try and intensify this. They'll expel people. They'll send them off campus. But you've got, I don't know how many are here. 35,000, 40. In the first week of classes, they focused on education. Now we're focusing on the individuals who are endangering everybody.
Right.
A student was issued an interim suspension for hosting a large party at his apartment. Another student was issued an interim suspension for violation of a quarantine order. I don't know how you'd know all that. I mean, if you're testing positive and you're supposed to quarantine, how do you know they're not? A student who posted a video on social media attempting to show people how to circumvent the Safer Illinois app is facing discipline.
Well, there's your answer, Stevie.
Approximately 100.
Maybe the Safer Illinois app has a locator on it.
Yeah, but you can't do that, can you? You can't. Do you sign off on that so you can track where I am all the time? Approximately 100 additional students and organizations are facing disciplinary action for the behavior over the weekend. It goes on to talk about what everybody ought to do. Avoid traveling or attending large gatherings over the Labor Day weekend. Remember that in addition to university disciplinary action for violation, you could be subject to fines up to $750 per day per violation. If you see any non-compliance, please document the evidence and submit it. Those are like the people that drove around town taking pictures and put them online. They're playing soccer. You can't play soccer. That's not social distance. I mean, it's that. Ugh.
What a mess.
What a mess. Okay, well, again, you're trying it's tough because this generation, age 18 to 22, may not even show symptoms, and they want to socialize because a lot of them major in socializing versus anything else. It's going to be when they said closing the bars, I said they're just going to have other parties, and it's just a natural thing.
So it's a 10 class, get groceries, and get tested twice a week. That's it.
You can go on a walk by yourself, but there again, it says individual activity. In some cases, you don't even want to walk on campus alone, I thought. Right. Depends on the time of day.
Sure.
Good luck. Good luck. It's hard, and I sure as heck wouldn't want to try and enforce all this. I hate things like, I'm going to snitch on you. You're not. I saw them walking, and they didn't have a mask, and they were outside, but they were within 6 feet of your clothes. Maybe it was 5.5 feet, but yeah. And how are they doing 100 parties? Little student ambassadors or something? Anyway, it's just they're trying to keep the spread down. I can't blame them for that. It is just going to be tough. And you think they're going to stop it? No, you're not going to stop this. I'm sorry. You can catch them, but people are going to drink. Close the liquor stores. How about that?
Oh, no.
Well, what sense does it make that you penalize all our local businesses, close all the bars, and allow liquor to be sold? Close the liquor store. Make them go to Bloomington to buy liquor. I mean, they're not going to. Well, of course, then marijuana's legal, so they can buy that all they want. Don't worry about social distancing there. Just go line up. Yeah. Get the weed and share that, I guess, at the party. But take the cakers out. It's hard to get drunk and have a mass gathering because the more you drink, the less, careful you are, right?
Right.
All right. Good luck to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Stever today. This is our program where Stevie J gives you money. You spend it on stuff, and you keep the stuff.
Good idea.
Jet's Pizza, my friends.
Yes.
All you have to do is go to GoStever.com. It lights up in 1 minute. GoStever.com. You sign in. If you're not registered, you can register and click Accept all in the same darn time. The window, the portal will be open from 7:30 to 8:30. You click, yes, I'd like $25 of Stevie J's money to go buy a pizza at Jet's. And yes, I'll use it within 7 days and give you feedback as to what I thought of my entire experience. GoStever.com. I'm giving out pizzas today in the form of $25 bills. GoStever.com.
Jets is located at Neal and Green near campus, and also at Round Barn location off Springfield and Mattis.
Okay. Go to GoStever.com. It's Jets Pizza. Lights up in 30 seconds. Mark. GoStever.com. Free pizzas this morning. Tossing them out like Frisbees. But I'm socially distanced. And I'm catching the Frisbee myself. Okay, 359-2255. You can chime in. We'll get to some of your messages that are coming in. Happy to do that. Facebook message us as well. I mean, if you're running campus, what would you do? You had 320 cases in one night you got an issue. And then, you know what? If you've got it, you got to quarantine. That's just part of the thing. But I just don't think I feel good. It was a false positive. I get all that, but if you're not going to follow the system, it's just an impossible logistics nightmare. That's just what it is. They're trying to get it going. I don't know how they're going to keep it going. It's going to be all online, and it's just tough. It's a tough situation. All right, back in a moment. 359-2255. That's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. It is Thursday morning. We're going to the White House. John Decker coming up.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. New Fox News polls show Joe Biden leading President Trump in 3 states the president won in 2016, Arizona, North Carolina, and Wisconsin.
In the 3 states, Biden holds large advantages with women, Hispanics, and suburban voters. The president is the choice among whites without college degrees and rural voters. The president is seen as equal to or better than Biden on the economy, while likely voters in all 3 states say Biden would be better in battling COVID-19.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The president's ordered a review of how federal funding might be withheld from state and city governments that he says allow violence and anarchy.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo suggesting the president has some kind of vendetta.
I think it's because he is from New York City, and New York City rejected him.
Any funding cuts expected to face legal challenges.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
They say, if you build it, they will come. The story began in 2013 when Sarah Automotive acquired Honda BMW in Savoy. And 7 years later, after unprecedented growth in sales and service, Sarah Automotive is growing. Introducing Sarah Honda BMW, Sarah Subaru, Sarah Buick GMC, and Sarah Hummer, all located off of Neal in Savoy. For all the exciting details, visit Sarah, SERRA, Champaign.com.
When you're looking for a business to work with, you choose someone local, someone who's terrific at what they do, a company that helps others in need in Champaign-Urbana, and a company that stands behind what they do. That company is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors has been keeping the rain out for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy and their family work hard to not only make sure you're 100% satisfied by their work, but that they also strive to have a positive impact on Champaign-Urbana. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their #1 priority.
You want your children and grandchildren to focus on their future, not tuition. For more than 150 years, Busey Bank has partnered with families and businesses to establish impactful, enduring legacies. Busey's experienced advisors can help build plans and develop strategies that work as hard as you do, evolving to create lasting impact for your family and legacy. Learn more at Busey.com. Member FDIC.
Ladies and gentlemen, America's Journalist coming up in just a second. Let's check weather. Diane Ducey.
Areas of dense fog this morning. The advisory goes until 10 a.m. We've got a high 86 expected and 51 our low tonight. The chance of a shower popping up on radar this afternoon is at 20%. Very pleasant tomorrow with the sunshine. High 77, low 57. Saturday and Sunday we're up to 82. A 40% chance of showers early on Sunday. Right now we're at 64 on ESPN 93.5.
John Decker. John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, live near the White House at the home office with the Air Force One pillow that I sure like. How are you, John Decker?
I'm doing excellent. Yes, I am at the home office today. I'll be at the White House tomorrow. And I would not be surprised if the president has a briefing at the White House tomorrow. But this afternoon, you may know this already, Stevie, the president traveling late this afternoon to Pennsylvania, to Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And why is Latrobe so important to America? Mm-hmm. That's where Arnold Palmer's from. That's his birthplace. And, of course, it's in western Pennsylvania. And, of course, Pennsylvania, battleground state for the November election. The president hoping to keep it in his column in November.
Well, according to Fox News, certainly from the 3 states revealed, Biden is safely in front. I mean, is this what we are to think, that it's over?
No, nothing is over until we hear that fat lady sing, I guess. But no, it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, we haven't even hit Labor Day. We haven't even had the first of 3 presidential debates. We haven't had the one vice presidential debate. It is far from over, and next week you're going to see ads go up in these battleground states from the Trump campaign, and they're hoping to turn things around. And so I certainly would not count President Trump out, despite this poll. I think that it's a Fox News poll, and I trust Fox News polls certainly more than any other poll. But it could overstate the degree to which Joe Biden is leading or has a lead over President Trump right now. And for that reason, at least for some of those states that are in the poll, they're within the margin of error. And that means that that is a poll that you can't bank on. You can't take it to the bank, and you can't count on that particular state being in Joe Biden's column, for instance, in November.
There are people that are saying it's possible that on Tuesday night it would be apparent that Trump has a big lead, and then after the mail-in votes are counted, Biden would be declared winner, and we'd have a national catastrophe because both sides would say they're cheating.
Well, look, we've had something like that happen in 2000. Our nation survived that. Of course, we know what happened there is that initially the state of Florida was declared for Al Gore. Then the networks took back that declaration, made it essentially up in the air until Al Gore ultimately conceded the election on December the 13th of the year 2005, weeks after Election Day. So that's what I would prepare for. Is it possible that the numbers may be such that on November the 3rd, President Trump may be leading in one state? Sure, that's possible. And that means that there would likely be maybe millions of votes that still need to be counted. And as a result, the networks would not declare the state one way or the other with, a significant number of ballots yet to be counted.
Though in 2000, John, it felt more structure-y. It felt like we really trusted the system. It doesn't feel like that today.
Well, I think that the system was such in 2000 that we put our trust in the court system, ultimately the U.S. Supreme Court, which decided the 2000 presidential election. Now, there are doubts that are being sown as it relates to our ballot system, our election system, the structural integrity of our election system. I have confidence in it. We've spoken about this before. I voted absentee ballot countless times. I never thought twice about the whole process. But the president is sowing some doubt as it relates to the election process. And, I haven't seen any evidence that there has been massive fraud as it relates to voting in our country prior to the 2020 election. And that is what the president is saying may indeed happen in 2020 without any evidence that I've seen that would back that proposition up.
I think there's always, I think we could probably all agree there's some sort of cheating. It's just whether it swings an election. And I don't think anything has the impact of a 1960 Mayor Daley Chicago and John Kennedy
Well, that's
stuff.
right. Yeah, people forget about that, Mayor Daley Chicago 1960, and you know that history quite well. In fact, at the time, Senator Richard Nixon, who was running for the presidency, decided, just to concede. He didn't even want to challenge what happened in the state of Illinois and specifically in the city of Chicago, and that essentially, to a certain extent, determined the winner of the 1960 election. Now it's a different time. We have a much more divided country, as you know. You report on it every day on your show, Stevie. And so I don't see anybody conceding on election night right away. But you never know if it's a runaway one way or the other. If it's a landslide, then we'd see what we typically see as a concession speech of some sort coming from the losing candidate.
I guess, in 1980, it was supposed to be a coin flip, Reagan and Carter. And, is that possible that one side or the other could just break away and shock everybody into blowout?
Oh, absolutely. That's what happened. There were late breakers that went for Ronald Reagan in 1980. I've spoken to individuals that were involved very intimately in the 1980 presidential race from both sides, from the Reagan side and also from the Carter side. I've done an obituary already that's sort of what, as we say, about this phrase, in the can for Jimmy Carter for Fox News. And I spoke to many individuals who really we're seeing the likelihood, they thought, of Jimmy Carter winning in 1980. And, of course, the late breakers went for Ronald Reagan. They wanted to give him a shot. They felt comfortable with him as the next president, and he ended up, of course, winning that race in 1980.
Well, it's certainly unlike any time I felt, and I really don't know what's going to happen. That's why John Decker, who in 2016 said, I think Trump's going to win. You said that earlier than anybody. So we're all kind of waiting here. In fact, we're kind of waiting for what you say, John. When are we going to get the prediction here?
We're going to get it the second week in October. We'll have the vice presidential debate under our belts. We'll have the first presidential debate under our belts, and I think that will essentially, determine to a certain extent how those undecideds are going to vote in the 2020 election. So I look forward to making that forecast for you on your show, Stevie, and we'll see. Like I said at the very top of our conversation, Stevie, a lot can happen, and it's not even Labor Day yet.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's coming up, Labor Day late this year, coming up this weekend. And then you think the debates, it will have an impact?
Well, sure they will, because, that's one of the undecideds. We've heard, that Joe, we've heard this from many, including from you, Stevie, that Joe Biden isn't what he used to be, that, he's not maybe all there, various that theme coming regarding Joe Biden. And the debates are the best way to determine whether that narrative is true or not, whether he can hold his own against President Trump. And so I think that for many undecideds, they will wait and see how Joe Biden specifically performs in that debate and whether his faculties are all there, whether he's sharp, whether he's quick, whether he can handle and, stand mano a mano against President Trump. And so, yes, I think that this year those debates could indeed determine who the next president is going to be, or if President Trump wins a second term, another 4 years as president.
I've changed my narrative, by the way, on that. I don't know if I...
What's the narrative? I want to hear it.
Joe Biden, 47 years, distinguished senator. You can't touch him. The guy. Look at the 2012 debate with Paul Ryan. He smoked him. Biden is well spoken. He is unbelievable. The experience he has, we can't even hold a candle to that. Oh my gosh! Let's call off the debates.
That's right. I think you're picking up on my conversation I had with you from last week.
No, I've got it.
You can't lower the expectations against your opponent. You raise the expectations.
Joe Biden, come on, man. We can't. Come on, man. We can't touch him. Come on, man. No, that's my new thing. Is we can't be the Joe Biden's. He's going to be unbelievable. He's going to be the Webster's Dictionary. It's over. We can't touch that. That's what I got.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I got. All right, my friend.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
No, I do. I do. Believe me, everything you say, I soak in. John Decker, I appreciate you, my friend. Keep up your reporting. We need great journalism.
Thanks a lot, Stevie. Thanks for having me on the show today. Have a great day, great rest of the week and weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.
You're the man. John Decker, live near the White House. He goes to the White House periodically, not every day like he used to because of pandemic. But that's it. Joe Biden, the distinguished senator from Delaware, you can't touch him. The guy is so articulate. He's so brilliant. I mean, he spews prose, and he's so good at verbiage. I mean, it's over. That is my new approach. He is tremendous. He's a statesman. You cannot touch Joe Biden in the debate. Forget about it. Forget about it. Too much experience.
So there's a comment from Jack about the mail-in votes, and when they requested to know how many more votes should come in, if these are mass mailed, there's no guessing on how many still could come in, basically waiting for a battleground state towards Trump and then flood more Biden votes in a few days later. Is there a certain cutoff date when it'll be official?
I don't know that. I understand there's only 9 states that are flooding the zone and sending out ballots to every household. And I don't know if any of them are swing states. I mean, California, it's not going to go to Trump, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, we
had a guest on this week saying Colorado has been doing this for 6 or 8 years.
Well, again, absentee is when you call and request a ballot. Mass mailing to every household, even if they're dead or alive or moved, you still got a floating ballot out there that somebody could harvest, is what they say. Okay, another texter. How's it considered safe by our cities to protesters to march, but dangerous for people to march in a parade? Wouldn't both fall under the First Amendment right to peacefully assemble? I don't know what parade he's referencing here. Was there a parade recently? I mean, I've seen golf cart parades, but those are socially distanced.
Yeah, and I feel like the honor parade that they had in Muhammad over the weekend was also, it's one of those things where everybody knows the rules. Let's just obey them.
Yeah.
I mean, Tolono has a golf cart parade tomorrow. So at 6:45, but we just expect, it's only your family on the golf cart and you're staying away from everybody else.
I'm just really, really happy I'm not on campus, that I'm not a freshman at the University of Illinois these days. It's just
different experience.
It's just the whole, a huge part of this is social, right?
Social. Yep.
You got to ban the social. If you're looking for appliances, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, stand by. They make it easy online at appliance-world.com. So you go to appliance-world.com and you look around. You do the virtual thing. You see the Frigidaire that you really like. You call up, you say, hey, this looks really good. Can you tell me, does it have the little reminder that I'm out of milk? Because some of these fridges do. And you say, okay, when I mask up, come in, take a look. Can we get it delivered? Can you take out my old unit? Dick Van Dyke Appliance World will say yes. Over 40 years of appliance experience, it's all they do. That's all they do is appliances. Dick Van Dyke is the largest independent appliance dealer in all of Central Illinois. Champaign, Bloomington, Springfield, and Decatur, they offer discount pricing on quality products. They specialize in appliance service, including delivery, installation, and repair. And again, you cannot beat their free 10-year protection plan.
Wow!
Check out the Champaign location, South 74 on Neal, or again, appliance-world.com, appliance-world.com.
I saw an LG freezer that does circular ball ice.
Ooh, that's
Artisan
cool.
Ice, okay. I think it was. Wow, that is cool.
The news, the Circle Ice is popular.
I mean, it was like a golf ball kind of size.
Ooh, big ones, okay.
Yeah.
Texter, the news it has an article, this morning's News Gazette, they have canceled the Labor Day parade.
Right. Dorothy had a comment on Facebook live feed here at ESPN 93.5 about the Labor Day parade being canceled. Maybe that's what they're talking about. And that one used to leave from Lincoln Square and head to the Brookins building, I believe, on Monday morning around 10. So that's not going to be happening.
Rick has texted in, we're supposed to be playing football. We're becoming the frog in the pot of boiling water. What has this country come to? It's a taste of socialism, really. Under the auspices of an emergency, and it might be an emergency, but this is what socialism feels like. Can we? Can't we? Let's ask. Let's ask Superior Leader. Okay, it's 8:48. Let's jump to our morning sports, ESPN 93.5.
Cincinnati beat the Cardinals 4-3, so the St. Louis Cardinals took 2 out of 3, and they have the day off today. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals have a day off today in Chicago. They'll open a 5-game series over 4 days beginning tomorrow night at 7:15 at Wrigley Field. But last night, the Redbirds dropped a 1-run decision after just blasting the Reds 16-2 the night before.
They couldn't close out the series, but they did get a good start from Johan Oviedo. He did give up a few runs, but the Cardinals were in it. They had their chance in the 9th inning. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, couldn't come up with a hit or a sacrifice fly to put themselves ahead in the 9th. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Joey Votto, one of the game's best hitters over the last 10 years, came up with a base hit to right center on an 0-2 pitch to send the Cardinals home a loser.
2 walks set up the game-winning hit for Votto after the Cardinals had the bases loaded and couldn't score in the top of the 9th. So it's the Redbirds and the Cubs beginning tomorrow night. Yu Darvish against Jack Flaherty on the air at 6:20. The Reds won 4-3.
Cubs win 8-2 over Pittsburgh. Baez with a 3-run homer.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball deep left field off the bat of Baez. This ball's got a chance. Gone. Get out the tape measure for Javier Baez. A long 3-run homer, and the Cubs lead 3-1.
Okay, good to hear Pat Bringing out his tape measure comment there.
Yeah, he feeds off the crowd like all announcers do. There's no doubt about it. But it's what we have. The Cubbies are comfortably in first place by 4 full games. Even though some of their big hitters aren't coming up with great averages right now, it doesn't matter. The Cubs are steamrolling the Central as we speak.
And it's a 12:35 start to wrap up that series against the Pirates with J.T. Brubaker on the mound for Pittsburgh, Alec Mills for the Cubs, Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 8-1. Kansas City is who the White Sox will take on at 7:05 tonight. And did you hear Tom Seaver passed away at the age of 75?
Big fan of Tom Seaver. He was the premier pitcher for 10 years at least, 1967 to 77 with the New York Mets. Tom, terrific, won a World Series in '69 when they came back on those Cubbies. Tom Seaver dead at the age of 75.
And NBA action had Miami Heat over the Milwaukee Bucks, 116 to 114. Miami up on the series, 2-0. Houston Rockets won their series now 4-3, beating Oklahoma City's Thunder 104 to 102. James Harden blocking that 3-point last-second shot. 30 players on the tour. East Lake playing for that $45 million FedEx Cup bonus money. $15 million to the winner.
15 to the winner. Second place takes your $5 million and sulks away. Weather brought to you by the College of Aces. Agriculture, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences is more than meets the eye. Explore opportunities at aces.illinois.edu.
Dense fog advisory goes until 10. Make sure the headlights are on. Give yourself plenty of distance between you and other vehicles. If you're traveling this morning, we've got a high 86, 51 with clear conditions tonight. Sunshine, high 77, low 57 for tomorrow. 81 to 61. The temperature range with sunny conditions on Saturday. Sunday, we've got a 40% chance of morning showers. And on Monday, Labor Day, we're at a high of 83. Currently 66 on ESPN 93.5.
I can't imagine the news will be good for those on campus with bars and restaurants. Remember that was supposed to be till Labor Day thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything's changing, is it?
Yeah, you're right.
And another thing is there's been no word as to if that's extended where restaurants can't have inside seating and bars can't be open on campus in the campus town area. But they gotta be told because you got to ramp up if in fact that changes. Can't imagine following the chancellor's letter that I read here in the last half hour that essentially says students stay in, don't socialize. If you party, you're going to be expelled from the standpoint if you host a party for sure. And if you're there, you're going to be disciplined. Will kids still go out and buy booze and drink? And then I still don't understand how they're navigating fraternities and sororities. Because if you live there, I don't understand. How do you do that? If you live there, and let's just say there's 30 in the house. Big house, they cut it down. You're going out and coming back. I guess you're tested twice a week so you can keep track of it. But isn't that a gathering? I don't know how. I don't know. It's just a lot of questions. But I think the worst part of everything is that you're supposed to tell on each other.
Right.
I can't stand that. That's China. That's snitching. That's ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine if you see a blatant 200-person party and it's spilling over and okay, I guess but to just look for it, we already have that. People looking around the mask violators in stores. It is just do your thing, put your mask on, go do your thing and leave. Don't be in everybody else's business. Just avoid people. If you see somebody in the other aisle without a mask, just don't go near them. But it's not your business. Let the store deal with it. But we got these self-proclaimed mask police, and it's very annoying. And some people are ready to fight you about it. And we just don't want to go there, do we? Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the best humans I know. It's Troy Lands, Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm fine. I'm still waiting for the call. If you need help on the weekends, of course, have training with Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. And
that's right.
I tightened up a cabinet screw, and I picked the pointy one because I think that's what it called for, Troy. So
that's right. You know what? As long as you know what tool to grab, who cares what it's called, right?
Did Drew leave your company after I worked with him, or did that hold up?
No. Woo! But he had a whole new appreciation.
Boy, I was worried because after I left, after training with Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, I thought Drew was going to quit. Okay, so what are you doing right now, Troy, besides doing your philanthropic work and helping people and doing great things with Lifeline Connect and supporting men who get into drugs and recover through the Word of God and Jesus, and it's all good. But you're actually servicing what now? Air conditioners? You got to have an eye on furnaces coming up.
Yep, we have an eye on furnaces. We're going to start those here in about 2 weeks. I know it doesn't seem like we should have to yet because, again, it's still the 80s. But before we know it, fall is going to be here. It's all right around the corner. And we're going to start the furnace tune-ups and be sure that it's safe to operate. Again, it's like your air conditioner. As long as it's done once a season, that doesn't have to necessarily be done right at the beginning. But, again, if you do it in November every year, that's great, or December, January. The main thing is to be sure that it's operating safely and as close to manufacturer specs as possible.
Yeah, well, that's what you guys do because you want to keep it humming. And I tell the story when I had a $980 furnace bill, and was it air conditioner? Anyway, I had a cardboard for air filter, and the Lance people laughed, which I thought wasn't funny. But anyway, I never knew you had an air filter to change. But if you don't have it,
you're not the only one in that boat, and that's why you call the experts. You do what you do on the radio, and we'll take care of the equipment.
Yeah, some people say I'm not competent at either. But anyway, Troy,
I'll let that one lay.
How do people get Land's Heating and Cooling? And by the way, I'm enjoying my conversations with Melissa and Wes and some of our.
Yep.
I just feel like I'm part of the team now, and
your family.
I'm just trying to. I guess I'm trying to glob on to a successful company.
That's great. 355-5512 or landsinc.com.
You the man, my friend. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Have
Troy, you too. It's Troy Land's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Truly a really good man. I mean, he's a really, really good guy. Okay, let's see, 7:56. We have a Stever in progress. Stever is our program where I hand you money, you spend it and keep it. And we're doing Jets Pizza today. Kind of a slam dunk. So if you want $25 to spend, I think I get the buffalo chicken.
Ooh, real good choice.
Little pick there. It's just a little kick at the end there.
Their boneless wings are terrific, too.
Yep.
Boy, they've got a lot of great salads. I mean, Jets Pizza, located near campus at Neely Green, also at Round Barn, location off Springfield and Mattis.
So here's what you do. You go to the website, Go Stever, Stever. When the kids are growing up and I'd say, we're going to the moon, I got a ladder, they'd say, easy, Stever. So the program is a little out there. And so that's why it's called that. So it's gostever.com. I'm simply on the corner handing you money. And if you don't want it, that's fine. But if you want to eat pizza on me, gostever.com, click accept. You'll get an email. It's going to be a random select thing. I don't know how all that works at all. I just know that you go accept and you're in the pool of people. And as you imagine for pizza, there's probably quite a few. I haven't got a count yet, but I know a lot of people love Jets. Jets Pizza, gostever.com, gostever.com. All right. ESPN 93.5, your news just moments away.
Hi, this is Dan Moyson, president of Simplified Computers. COVID-19 has changed the way we work, study, and play. The virus is ripping across the country, but the little culprit will not win. Simplified Computers remains dedicated to helping you work safely. We offer in-store and curbside service 7 days a week. We are a one-stop computer sales, repair, and consulting company. Come see us today at 901 South Neal Street or online at simplifiedcomputers.com or at 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
Caution, a virus has been detected.
Captain, our bandwidth is too low and the firewall is down. The viruses are attacking. This is an emergency.
We'll be just fine. All we need is a competent captain, such as myself. Peter, how are we looking?
Guidance cannot compute. Computers have been infested. We should have used area-wide.
Quickly, call down to Area-Wide Technologies in Champaign. The number is 359-8041.
Security threat neutralized.
Area-Wide has done it again. We must remember to call them for our cyber security need. Take us home, Lieutenant.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with your kids' finances, insurance? Then let State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Kurt handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time for everything else. More money, too. Because adding State Farm policies could mean earning discounts worth up to 40%. That's money Kurt can help you put toward a college savings plan. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow today and get to a better state with State Farm. Discounts may vary state to state. Visit KurtLenschow.com today.
Staying informed is all about asking the right questions. That's why Schwab encourages you to ask questions about the way your wealth is being managed. Do you know how much you're paying? And do you get your feedback if you're not happy? At Schwab, we offer the industry's only satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy for any reason, we'll refund your fee and work with you to make things right. So ask your broker questions. If you don't like the answers, ask again at Schwab. Visit schwab.com/compare us or call the Champaign Independent Branch at 217-689-4767.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Joe Biden's getting ready to go to Kenosha. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's unfortunate that politics seems to be the motivating factor for them.
Deputy White House Press Secretary Brian Morgan's turn. Fox's Jeff Manasso is already in Kenosha waiting for Biden live.
Dave, Joe Biden is here in Kenosha a little later today, where we're told he'll meet with the family of Jacob Blake, with law enforcement and members of the community.
There's been overwhelming requests that I do come, because what we want to do is we got to heal. We got to put things together, bring people together.
The Democratic presidential nominee in Delaware yesterday, he skipped a DNC appearance here last month and hasn't been to Wisconsin in almost 2 years. His visit today also after President Trump's firsthand look Tuesday at widespread damage here from last week's violent protests. Dave.
Jeff, new protests over another black man shooting, this time in Washington, where police killed him during a pursuit yesterday. Officers claim he pointed a gun at them. Now, the president's considering cutting federal funding to Washington and other Democrat-run cities hit by protests. He calls them anarchist jurisdictions. Sent a memo to the Attorney General and White House Budget Director to review funding to D.C. and Seattle and Portland and New York. That state's Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Those who know him best like him least. That's true about New York City. It's true about his own family.
There's been another drop in unemployment. In the corona shutdown's recovery, Fox's Lillian Wu has the numbers live.
Dave, we're below 1 million claims this week for first-time jobless filings, 881,000. The expectation, 950,000. The government, though, this week changing the way it counts claims figures for predictable seasonal patterns. Americans continuing to file claims, 13.25 million, also better than expected. This means more than 59 million claims total filed since lockdowns began. Dave.
On Wall Street, stock futures down modestly ahead of today's trading. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special end-of-summer announcement from Dell. At our Labor Day sale, small businesses can save up to 50% on select business computers with Intel Core processors. We're committed to taking your business to the next level. Give our small business technology advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business with Labor Day savings. Visit Dell.com/business deals or call us at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is the Frells family. They live on a piece of land they call greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land. It's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Joe Biden's trip to Kenosha, his first to Wisconsin since 2018. Hillary Clinton didn't go to that state that President Trump won in 2016, but he's behind there and in 2 other states he won 4 years ago in a new Fox News poll.
The poll finds if ballots were cast today, voters would favor Democratic nominee Joe Biden over President Trump 50 to 46% in North Carolina, 49 to 40% in Arizona, and 50 to 42% in Wisconsin. In the 3 states, Biden holds large advantages with women, Hispanics, and suburban voters. The president is the choice among whites without college degrees and rural voters. The president is seen as equal to or better than Biden on the economy, while likely voters in all 3 states say Biden would be better in battling COVID-19. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The president says he's been helping fast-track vaccine research, and his administration has told states to be ready to distribute a COVID vaccine by as early as November 1st. Now, millions of Americans have had trouble paying bills in this crisis. That's put some people at risk of being evicted. The CDC's issued an order to prevent landlords from doing that, which could face legal legal challenges, and California's Democratic governor also taking action.
Gavin Newsom says he signed a law this week that prohibits COVID-related rental evictions through February of 2021. But those who make more than a certain amount do have to prove that they have additional financial hardships getting in the way of paying rent. There are also provisions that say
people that can, we would like to see them make partial rent payments over the next number of months, roughly 25% at least, and that's a minimum, rental payments.
Newsom says there are some foreclosure-related protections in the bill, but opponents say paying a fraction of rent along with these provisions won't do much of anything to help landlords who have to pay mortgages. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Hall of Fame baseball pitcher Tom Seaver has died at age 75. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
So if you can't evict people during this time, which is fine, why would you make somebody who owns the building pay the mortgage? If they owe the bank and they can't get rent and you can't evict and find other people that'll pay, why would you be forced to pay the bank? Just questioning that. I mean, really. I mean, if you're protecting the people, and I think that's fine, well, who's protecting the guy who owns the building?
I don't know.
Are you supposed to have that kind of cash, the extra money, because you can't do anything about not getting paid? And you're giving the people in the apartments a rent, and you just presume that the guy that bought the building's rich?
Right.
Maybe they just, doing that whole flip thing or trying to get in and get caught in the middle. And I heard Greg Gutfeld on Fox say, we just call timeout on everything. Nobody pays anything for anything.
Agreed.
I bet the grocery stores wouldn't like that. While you're at home doing some of your work, you might want to check out College of Aces. Maybe you know somebody looking for just the right program. Encourage your student to explore the College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences, or otherwise known as ACES, at the University of Illinois. Especially if they care about their world, want to make a positive change. You can visit the College of ACES for more information about protecting the environment, promoting healthy families, preventing food insecurity, and other work that really matters. For a more than meets the eye opportunity, explore ACES courses and culture virtually today at aces.illinois.edu. Okay, let's jump into our 8 o'clock hour. Let's check your ESPN 93.5 3-day weather. Diane Ducey.
There's a dense fog advisory this morning, so make sure the headlights are on. We've got a high 86, 51 our low tonight, clear conditions, sunny, and a high 77 tomorrow, down to 57. 81 the high Saturday, 82 on Sunday and Labor Day Monday. There's a 40% chance of showers in the morning on Sunday, but that's the only real mention of rain. Well, 20% chance of it happening this afternoon. Right now we're at 66 on ESPN 93.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, wife, mother, mom, motivator, speaker, TV personality, coach, author, family crusader, otherwise, she's a slacker. Very happy. Thought I'd get you to laugh there. Demi Austin Thomas, how are you?
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you?
I kind of love everything I'm reading about you, just about every darn thing. Maybe you're a model, too. Look how beautiful you are on your website. Come on, man.
Oh, my goodness. Stop it. You got me blushing early this morning. Thank you so much.
Demi is a certified coaching professional in the areas of children, youth, parent, and family coaching. Can you say, we need you? What's going on with homeschooling and teaching and patience and stuff and chores? There's actually evidence that if you have responsibility around your own house, the kids turn out better. Is that true, Demi?
It is. It is. Research does show that kids who do chores grow into becoming happier, healthier, far more successful adults. And the sooner that parents, these mom and dads, start them off doing it, the better off, I'm telling you, everybody's going to be. So definitely some habits that we definitely want to start doing and shaping now for the lives and for the sake of our children. They need it. Definitely teaches building character and time management skills, and, of course, resilient kids. That's what we want. That's what we need in our community.
We need some.
How do we start that, Demi? Do you do a chore chart on the refrigerator, or how do you get that going?
Yes, absolutely. That is probably one of the number one questions I get often. And so I say implementing these weekly chore charts. I call them kitty duty do's, making them fun. You know, parents can create these organizational charts where the kids can get involved and know exactly what they're doing, from, you know, dusting the furniture, putting away their toys, bathroom cleanup. You can really organize your chore system to be exactly what you want to do and what you want to teach. Make it fun. Make it exciting for the kids.
How do we deal with what we're dealing with? The internet's down. We got to do homeschool. We got to work. Two people have to work to make the mortgage. There's anxiety. There's stress levels. Kids don't want to do it. They want to play video. Guide me through this, Demi.
Well, let me tell you right now, you know, this pandemic has certainly been something that we have, you know, never expected in a million years. But what I will tell you, that what it is doing, or what it's created for us, it's really forcing families to work together. I cannot say that, you know, often, is that right now families are forced to communicate. They're forced to really lean on each other. They're really forced to really build their family structure. And, you know, of course, kids don't want to do chores. Who wants to do chores? Back in the day when I was coming up, you know, chores was an expectation. It was taught. It was, you know, we were expected to do it every single day. We weren't asked. And so a lot of moms and dads who are at home right now, they're trying to figure out how to do it. You know, how do we get back on track? And so certainly what I want to echo here is, you know, for parents to take those mental breaks, but also to find balance, you know, in the space of this crazy storm of where we all are. But then to know that you need everybody. Everybody needs to be on board with the idea of not only creating structure, but also just lending a hand, period, from, you know, if it's, you know, taking the trash out, or if it's, you know, organizing closets, or, you know, decluttering and having maybe a family garage sale, or even getting in the kitchen and maybe having rotation on who's cooking dinner, making it fun. We can certainly do this, and let me tell you, we can do it together. And certainly I think for parents right now who are homeschooling, that's the big question. You know, how do you do it? I mean, I really think it really boils down to balance and creating a system that works for your household.
I love your glasses. I think we're going to make those red glasses the thing, man, because if you go to DemiAustinThomas.com, you'll see all the things she's doing, all the things she's offering. But what you offer, and by the way, when you said good to have chores assigned to you, I get the feeling as a child, maybe age 11, Demi, you were not only doing chores, you were assigning chores. That's what I get out of you.
Let me tell you, you were absolutely right. I was the big sister who was large and in charge.
Hey, I got you read like a dime store novel. I know who you are, man. I know who you are.
Yeah, you do.
I want people to go to this website to get encouragement, and I love your energy, and we need that right now. We need positivity. We need to feel good. We need to think we got this, Demi. I mean, it's so important to really believe you can do this.
Absolutely. And, you know, even in the moments when you just feel like it's overwhelming, it is. Be in that moment. It's okay to feel that it's overwhelming. Don't be afraid to step away and to take a break. I mean, I think for a lot of parents right now, it's overwhelming. And I think we don't want to say that. We don't want to feel that, but it is. We're in a real life storm here, people. But we can get through it.
I want people to believe that, and I want them to visit your website, Demi, D-E-M-I, Austin Thomas, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you.
And great meeting you. Love your energy. Keep up your good work helping people, Demi.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys.
8:13.
Thank you.
How could you get tired of hearing that energy?
That's awesome. I want to start to make my to-do list right now, and the kitty duty do list.
Do list, yeah. Busey remains committed to delivering on the promise of service excellence by providing the very best in innovative technology. Busey expanded their online banking platforms to offer online account sign-up. Process is quick and easy. Visit Busey.com to get started. You need a valid ID, social security number, and personal identification information. If you wish to name a joint account holder or beneficiary, you will need their personal info as well. You can make your initial deposit by transferring funds from an existing Busey account, transferring from another bank's account, mailing a check, or using your debit or credit card. Open savings, checking, money market, or HSA accounts, HSA checking. The process takes roughly 2 to 3 days. and a Busey associate will be in touch within 1 business day to confirm your application. Whether you need a checking account to manage online payments or savings account to fund that new project, you can open the account from the comfort of home. If you have any questions, reach out to your local branch or to their customer service team at 800-672-8739. Always innovating, over 150 years. It's Busey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are in the midst of a Stever. This is the program where I give you my money. You spend it within 7 days and tell me what you thought of your experience. Today, Jets Pizza. If you would like $25 is what I'm handing out here on the corner at the Pines in Urbana, right here in Boulder and Philo Road. I'm sorry, Boulder and Windsor is technically where we are. Mm-hmm. If you would like to come by virtually, go to gostever.com, click accept. And if you win one of these, and I think you're going to have a pretty good chance of it, if you win one of these $25 cards, it'll go on your phone. You can call Jets today at lunch if you'd like and say, I'll take the buffalo chicken with a little kick to it.
Yeah. They have the $6.49 mix and match special going on in September. So you can get a salad or a slice and all these different combinations.
For how much?
$6.49.
I can buy like 4 of those with my $25.
Exactly.
All right, go to gostever.com. If you're not in the program, sign up. It'll take you a minute and then click accept. And you might get an email in about 15 minutes saying you won $25 to Jets Pizza. GoStever.com right now. I got 15 minutes. All right, check your sports headlines. ESPN 93.5.
Well, Cincinnati pulled one out yesterday, so the Cardinals took 2 out of 3 in that series. Now they'll have a well-deserved day off before they face the Chicago Cubs. And a great series coming up this weekend. 4-3 was the final. Reds on top. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals have a day off today in Chicago. They'll open a 5-game series over 4 days beginning tomorrow night at 7:15 at Wrigley Field. But last night, the Redbirds dropped a 1-run decision after just blasting the Reds 16-2 the night before.
They couldn't close out the series, but they did get a good start from Johan Oviedo. He did give up a few runs, but the Cardinals were in it. They had their chance in the 9th inning. They had the bases loaded with 1 out. Couldn't come up with a hit or a sacrifice fly to put themselves ahead in the 9th. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Joey Votto, one of the game's best hitters over the last 10 years, came up with a base hit to right center on an 0-2 pitch to send the Cardinals home a loser.
2 walks set up the game-winning hit for Votto after the Cardinals had the bases loaded and couldn't score in the top of the 9th. So it's the Redbirds and the Cubs beginning tomorrow night. Yu Darvish against Jack Flaherty on the air at 6:20. The Reds won 4-3.
Cubs win yesterday. 8-2 was the final. They'll have a 12:35 start as they wrap up that series against Pittsburgh with on the mound for Chicago and JT Brubaker for Pittsburgh. Baez with a 3-run homer.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball deep left field off the bat of Baez. This ball's got a chance. Gone. Get out the tape measure for Javier Baez. A long 3-run homer. And the Cubs lead 3-1.
Minnesota beat the Chicago White Sox 8-1. Dylan Cease on the mound as the Chicago White Sox gear up for the Kansas City Royals, using Danny Duffy on the mound with a 7:05 start. Mets Hall of Fame pitcher Tom Seaver has passed away. Lewy body dementia is what comedian Robin Williams passed away from. Evidently, Tom Seaver had Lyme disease in 91, and then it reoccurred in 2012 and led to Bell's palsy and loss of memory and dementia. In 67, NL Rookie of the Year, 3-time Cy Young winner. I mean, the list goes on and on. He held a record for striking out 10 straight.
Yep.
Tom Seaver passed away at the age of 75.
All right.
NBA, we had Miami Heat over Milwaukee's Bucks, 116-114. Miami's up 2-0 in that series. Houston wins their series 4-3, 104-102 over Oklahoma City, with Harden blocking that last second 3-second shot. And then, of course, all eyes on the big cup in golf when it comes to East Lake and that FedEx Cup with $45 million being dished out. Yep. $15 million to the winner.
Pretty good. Pretty darn good. Couple of messages. Jack says Biden's going to meet the family today in Wisconsin and be praised for the real presidential visit from the mass media. What appears to be follow the leader will become a comparison of leadership. This looks to be their plan anyway. Biden comforts the victims while Trump enforces the police. Dave says the University of Illinois will be renamed to Snitch U. As in, I'm going to tell on you when you are doing something wrong. Let us check, which is being encouraged by the university. Let's check your weather.
Some dense fog this morning, partial clearing, chance of showers this afternoon at 20%, high 86, 51 our low tonight. Very pleasant tomorrow as we wrap up the week with sunshine and a high 77, low 57. 81 to 61 the temperature range with sunshine on Saturday. Morning showers could come our way with a high 82 on Sunday. We're currently at 66. It's ESPN 93.5.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There were 881,000 new claims for unemployment benefits last week. Economists were predicting more than 900,000. The government changed the way it counts claims in this report. It has been adjusting claims to allow for seasonal differences. However, the coronavirus created historic loss in the job market, so that adjustment no longer applies. Continuing claims, the number of those still receiving benefits declined to 13.2 million. Michael's, the arts and crafts chain, is reporting a much better quarter than expected. Though it lost money in the period, its sales were higher and all of its stores reopened by the beginning of July. Tyson Foods is creating health clinics near its plants. It's partnering with Marathon Health. The company says it's an effort to boost the overall health and wellness of its workforce. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. In these ever-changing times, you can rely on Fox News for hourly updates for the very latest news and information on your time. Listen and download now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. The Fox News Rundown is a weekday morning podcast that dives deep into the major and controversial stories of the day. Hosted by the anchors of Fox News Radio. Subscribe now to hear a perspective of news you won't find anywhere else. Listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. At Provident, our job is to help clients plan for and get through some of life's toughest challenges. Our mission is to provide each of our clients with individualized strategies, premier service, and independent thinking to help them achieve their financial goals. Contact us today at 3017 Village Office Place in Champaign or call 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
The new boss from Taco John's knows how to own a room. It's large, in charge, and isn't taking any guff, especially from your hunger. Packed with over a pound of cilantro lime rice, black beans, and your choice of grilled chicken or seasoned beef. Or you can kick it up a notch with hand-cut sirloin steak. Go for the burrito or make it a bowl. If you want to be a boss, eat like one. The boss from Taco John's.
Stop by your local Taco John's at 902 Meyer Drive in Champaign, right next to AMC Theater.
PDR Automotive in Urbana encourages all of their customers to be aware of their vehicle's regular service needs. Performing maintenance repairs at scheduled intervals can extend the life of your car or truck. Let the terrific technicians at PDR examine your vehicle at least twice a year. PDR will design a preventative maintenance plan specific to you and your vehicle needs. Go see John Marshall. Go to pdrauto.com or call 367-9481 for more details. Well, have we all been counted? The census is winding up. Gabe Lewis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you kind of the man here for Champaign County in the census?
I think I could say I'm the man, also because there's a lot of awesome females working with me on this. So
you have a team that is... may I say relentless? Came to my house like 4 times. And finally, I said, listen, I filled this out online. Are you getting people that say that's happening and we're not registering, or how's that working?
Yeah. The Census Bureau, before everything started, made a list of where they know everyone lives, all the households in the county. And so, in the spring, everybody could respond on their own. And then by end of July, August, they started going door to door for those addresses that didn't respond. But we're making ourselves available, too, I have 4 people on my staff, and we have a lot of different agencies, public health, the Y, the cities, the refugee center, that we're going to be outside in places that people might be to help people fill out their census form on a computer.
Well, they did that, and again, whatever happened to my online thing, whatever, but a very nice person, got it done very quickly. So when I ask you, are you in charge, you should say, well, it depends how to go. That's what I'd say. I'd say, yeah, maybe.
Very true.
And maybe not. When's this wind up, Gabe?
It ends at the end of this month. September 30th is the last day to respond to the census form.
What good does it do to participate in the census?
Yeah, so we are interested in getting a complete count because not only do we just want to know how many people are living in Champaign County, but that information helps us get funding from the federal government and even sometimes the state government down to the local level. So there's programs, it comes in play for education, for our school districts, the libraries, transportation, healthcare, social services, even businesses look at this data when they want to know where to locate their business. They want to know how many people are living in a community or living in a neighborhood so that they can try to set up shop in the place that they'll be most successful.
So can I make a citizen's arrest if you don't fill it out, like Gomer Pyle did Barney Fife and Andy Griffith?
I'll leave that up to you, but maybe you can just politely ask if they can do it.
I mean, what do you do? I mean, obviously, by law, you're supposed to do it. What happens to the folks that don't do it? I mean, it just kind of move on, or what do you do?
Yeah, I think we're all, especially the Census Bureau, is just trying to do their best to reach everyone. There are just some people in the community that maybe the Census Bureau doesn't know someone's living in an apartment or a house, or it's a new house and they don't have that address, or it's just a new resident. You know, we get a lot of people who move into Champaign County every year, especially if you abide.
Gabe, what's the number? I mean, do you get 50%, 70%? Any idea of the percentage of what you think you get?
We are at about 70% in Illinois in terms of people who've self-responded.
Okay.
And we're actually getting close to 90% in terms of the self-response and the people going door to door. So hopefully we're going to get everybody counted.
All right.
Does this make somebody who might be new to the country nervous that they need to get their ducks in a row?
Right. Yeah, it very well might. For one thing, people may not know if they move from another country that they are supposed to fill out the census. They may not know it exists, but they should, because there's no citizenship question. It's just a count of all the people living here. The Census Bureau employees take an oath that they can't share any personal information for 72 years. They're looking at 6-figure fines if they share personal information. So they can't share with any other federal department, FBI, CIA, anything like that. It's just used to be able to get an accurate count for all of our government to know where to distribute funding.
Okay, Gabe, how do people reach you or your office locally? What do they do?
Yeah, there's a number of ways. They can call 328-3313, and that's the Regional Planning Commission, and they can reach me that way. We have a email address, and that is Champaign County 2020 census@gmail.com. And then we also have a Facebook and Twitter, and that's the best place to see where we're going to be out in the community every day. And if you just search 2020 Central Illinois Census on Facebook or Twitter, you can find out everything we're up to.
Gabe, appreciate your time. Good work.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Gabe Lewis is his name.
Nice.
Census. Okay, if you want, last call on the Jets Pizza. Okay. Yeah, you can still do it. You get just a couple minutes here, but there's time. GoStever.com. I'm handing out $25 to Jets Pizza. 2 locations in Champaign. It's delicious pizza, wings, whatever. Happy to help you.
Delicious.
Jets Pizza. Go to GoStever.com. Click accept. You got to sign in. If you haven't done that, just do that. You'll forget your password like I do, but maybe you have a good one that you remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. GoStever.com. And then you, my friend, could get $25 to Jets Pizza. Last call. Jets Pizza. GoStever.com. I'm handing out money. You have to use it within a week. Tell me what you thought of your experience. It's our Stever program at GoStever.com. Lots coming down the way as well, so you want to be signed up. It's 8:30 news next.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues, including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission, requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know the quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Tired of waiting for your current HVAC company to call you back?
Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Call ABC Heating and Air at 217-352-5400. You'll talk to a real human being, and they service all makes and models. It's as easy as ABC. ABC Heating and Air, 217-352-5400. That's 352-5400.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Joe Biden and his wife Jill will be in Kenosha, Wisconsin today, saying he'll meet with law enforcement and community leaders about the Jacob Blake police shooting and violence, including the destruction of businesses and killing of 2 protesters. President Trump's campaign manager, Bill Stepien, tells Fox,
"This is not the time to be injecting politics into a really serious situation that the president helped solve."
The president was in Kenosha Tuesday. Health officials in all 50 states and 5 large cities are given guidance on distributing coronavirus vaccines.
A letter from the director of the CDC sent to governors last week and now being reported instructs states to be ready to start taking delivery of vaccine doses by November 1st. A number of candidate vaccines are in the midst of accelerated clinical trials, but the FDA has not yet granted approval for them.
Fox's Evan Brown. New unemployment claims last week, 881,000. A lot, but fewer. America's listening to Fox News.
What if you could buy groceries and help those in need at the same time? By shopping at Salt and Light Urbana, you partner with us in helping people right here in our community. Regularly buying some of your groceries will help others to feed their families while you feed yours. Salt and Light. Shop, donate, change lives.
Still have some back-to-school shopping to do this year? Well, look no further than the official fan store, the Fighting Illini Game Day Spirit. They have something for everyone on your shopping list, from toddlers to adults. New styles are arriving daily with hot new items from brands like Nike, Champion, and more. There's no better place to get geared up to show your love for the University of Illinois than the official fan store, the Fighting Illini Game Day Spirit. Visit them on the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campus Town, or shop online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Berkey's, your local Kubota dealer at 2202 South High Cross Road in Urbana.
All right, Steve says, we were talking about the Chancellor's letter. Yeah, pretty tough one. If I can give you kind of what's required here. They're asking for 2 weeks. I'm pretty much not doing a whole bunch. Not supposed to really go out except to get tested, attend class, purchase groceries, food. You can go to work, engage in individual outdoor activity, attend religious services, that's good, and seeking medical attention. Steve texts in and says, it's a short semester anyway, just send all U of I students home. The U of I is imprisoning these 18 to 24-year-old kids. There's nothing to do here anyway but for them to get in trouble.
Okay.
So there's you can always text us 359-2255. Yeah, just checking here, catching up. Funny how we teach. Another texter, 217 texter. Funny how we teach our kids to not tattle on others And that's exactly what adults are being encouraged to do right now. I do not like that part of stuff. I do not like the snitches tattling. Can you imagine the culture that is nobody remembers Bewitched, Gladys Kravitz across the street, the nosy neighbor that always looked inside the windows and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What I would suggest is that if something egregious, report egregious. But for somebody that, the type, and there are a lot of them right now. The type that just walks around and takes pictures and posts them on social media. It's none of your business. Stay in your own area. Stay in your own lane. You're not the police. I mean, come on, man. Nobody likes that. It's ridiculous. Okay, where am I? I have no idea. Oh, weather. I got somebody coming up here that says remote work could save the economy. Huh? Here we go with the weather.
All right, we've got a high 86 expected today. We've started out with some fog. The chance of a shower this afternoon popping up on our radar is at 20%. 51 our low with some clearing out tonight. Make way for sunshine and a high 77 tomorrow. Down to 57 in the evening. Saturday should be nice with a high of 82. 84 on Sunday with a 40% chance of showers in the morning. And then up into the mid-80s on Labor Day. Monday with partly cloudy conditions. Should be nice. Right now we're at 67 on ESPN 93.5.
Coming. Ladies and gentlemen, he says, of course, not sure if he says it or some study says it, remote work could save the economy. Economic strategist, CEO of Wentworth, a wealth management firm. Ryan Morfin, how are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
How can this save the economy again?
Well, I think it already has. If you look at where we're at, the Dow Jones closed at 29,000, and you have to ask yourself, what the heck's going on? There's been a V-shaped recovery. How did we get here? And if you think about the magnitude of what actually happened, they closed down the economy for an entire quarter so we could all stay home and be safe and social distance. But if you think about it, 20 years ago, we didn't have the technology proliferated in our economy for cloud computing or Zoom communications. We wouldn't have been able to bounce back the way we have in this V-shaped recovery. And so because of that, I think that it's left an impact, a positive impact, on where we are today and where we're going in the future. And so I think that 56% of the hiring managers that were in a survey recently said that productivity exceeded expectations from work from home. So the new normal will be different for employees and employers.
Just reading off the political talking points. It's all because of Barack Obama, silly. So, and Joe Biden. It's all because of those guys. That's why Trump inherited this great economy. No, it has been pretty stunning that the Dow came back, essentially 11,000 points, because I think we got down to 18,000 or something. So now it's at 29, about to break a record. The next good day is going to break a record. I mean, are people going back to work? Because without this extra 600 a week, I would think that'd stimulate them back in, Ryan.
Well, no doubt part of the recovery was the PPP program, and I just got a chance to spend time with Secretary Carranza at SBA. This basically built a bridge for the economy, and it allowed small and medium-sized businesses, some of them, to pivot their businesses in totality. And so it saved a lot of jobs. About 66% of jobs were saved. And a lot of people are saying, well, this is actually working out pretty well. In 2019, only 8.1% of Americans had access to work from home. Right now, we're at about 50% of the labor market. And so this has hiring managers starting to realize a few things, that this isn't a negative impact for an organization. And it's also making them realize that the genie's out of the bottle. You do not have to only hire from 25 miles outside of your corporate headquarters. And so it's going to allow people, especially in the Midwest, to benefit if they're part of the knowledge economy, because they're living in lower cost of living states, where Silicon Valley, New York City, companies that are based there don't necessarily need to hire 100% of their employees there. 75% of employers think they're going to be hiring more contractors in 2021 than employees. And that's part of the problem, is that people locally haven't spent the time thinking about skilling up.
Yeah.
And today, the average American consumer saves between $2,000 to $3,000 on consumption costs for not having to go into the office. They're either going to spend that in the retail holiday season coming up, or what I would prefer to see is people go online and pay for online tuition, some type of new certification course or new kind of new skill set, because every 5 years your skill set reduces by 50%.
Say what?
And so now so every 5 years, if you take a look at your skills that you have today, within the next 5 years, only half of them are going to still be relevant going forward because of the pace of change. And so what I would tell people is take an inventory, talk to your HR department, see if there's any budget for training, raise your hand and say, I want to pick up some new skills, add technology, video editing, social media, digital marketing.
Yeah.
These are skills that we absolutely all need today. And there's a shortage of them in a lot of these places in Silicon Valley, New York. But if you're creating those skill sets in the Midwest, companies are going to start looking for you, and we think there's going to be a huge productivity gain for the economy.
Tell you what I would dump, Ryan. I would dump my commercial office real estate in downtown Chicago. I mean, the money. I mean, you're not going to need bricks and mortar, are you?
Well, I would tell you there's a lot of things going on in Chicago where you'd want to maybe be bearish on commercial real estate. I hate to say it because I went to University of Chicago, and I love Chicago. But it's counterintuitive of how this is going to play out for the office sector and commercial real estate. The big companies are going to actually need to take more space. For the last decade, in 2010, there was 225 square feet per employee. Today, 2019, it was 130 square feet per employee. So we've been shoving more people in the tighter spaces. Today, post-COVID, only 50% of companies have enough space where they can basically allow employees to social distance. So what's going to happen is the big companies are going to have to take more square footage, and you've seen that happen in New York City. Facebook's signed almost 2 million square feet. Amazon's buying huge buildings. The big companies are going to have to take more space to bring the workforce back. Smaller companies, though, and this is going to be actually a very important point, smaller companies don't necessarily have to still have the stigma if they don't have office space. And so you're going to see less companies take office space. In a startup, 20% of the startup costs are due to office space. And so we basically reduced the necessary capital formation of a startup by 20%. So what we're going to see is a lot more startups and more entrepreneurs be created because of the startup costs have gone down by 20%. And what I envision is that these small and medium-sized enterprises are going to be where the job creation, the job engine comes in 2021. And it's because we just got a 20% reduction in the startup cost. Now, if tax policy changes, this and that, I mean, there's a lot of things that could send this in bad directions. But I'm optimistic that the American entrepreneur is going to create the jobs in 2021 to really have us whipsaw back.
I'll be surprised, though, if we don't get over this Corona and 6 feet thing. I can't imagine that being permanent where we have to distance forever.
No, look, it hit the news yesterday, and people have been talking about it for weeks. Pharmacies and hospitals have been told that November 1st, they need to be ready to start distributing a vaccine. Now, the vaccine is not going to be perfect. It may not work for 100% of us, but there will be at least a vaccine. There's about 5 or 6 that are pretty innovative and different. COVAX is another vaccine company that is very interesting right now because they're using synthetic peptides, so they don't have to grow the virus. Basically, it's tricking the virus into not spreading in your body. I think the mortality conversation is the conversation we need to have as a country. COVID probably isn't going away, but we can reduce the death outcome dramatically, and the treatments are going to increase with plasma. So I think what right now we have a human counterparty risk. We don't trust each other's behavior. Were you out drinking at the bar last night? Did you go to a large Trump rally? People don't want to trust the other person. And until we get over that, there's not going to be a willingness or a hesitation to get back to normal day-to-day living. Right. And I think as we start to see more of these treatments, I think it's going to be a better outcome.
You went to University of Chicago?
Yes, sir, I did. I studied physics and economics.
You sound pretty smart, dude. Really, you're a smart dude here. Can people follow you, find you? Ryan Morfin, Morfin. He is CEO of Wentworth Wealth Management. You sound like you're like 30. Okay, so I don't know how old you are, but you're really smart. How do people...
Just a lot of coffee. We have a podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
nonbetaalpha.com, and our website is wentworthms.com.
Hey, listen, congratulations. You're doing well, and enjoyed chatting with you. Hope we can talk again sometime.
Thank you very much.
Ryan Morfin, Morfin. Pretty bright guy.
Uh-huh.
So the big company's going to buy more office real estate because they need to social distance.
I see.
Ew. It's just, I'm tired of that. I want to have a mask burning party. Okay, we'll do a quick headline in sports next.
You're building a legacy, and you're at a point where you're moving beyond your own financial goals. You're focused on your family's security, giving to a cause you're passionate about, or even starting a foundation. Entrust Busey Wealth Management to maximize your wealth's potential. We'll provide you with the highest level of personalized service with your goals and values at the forefront. Learn more at Busey.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Whether it's buying, selling, or management you need, AG Farm Management has the professionals to make it happen. All properties, big or small, are important to them, meaning each client, tenant, seller, or landowner gets specialized attention and consultation for their property. AG Farm Management provides over 30 years of expertise in farm management and investment. Call Jim Goss at 367-2121. That's 367-2121 for a consultation or more information today. That's 367-2121.
First Responder of the Month, brought to you by Engelbrecht Grills and Cookers, making award-winning grills for people all over the world. Go to grillsandcookers.com. Our First Responder of the Month is Andy Stewart, Urbana firefighter.
You know, I always had that public servant heart. I was raised that way. I grew up that way. I knew I wanted to do something in that servant's heart way. I had a best friend's father was in it, rode along with him, and just fell in love. Fell in love with the family aspect of the fire department, fell in love with the camaraderie, fell in love with coming together as a team and achieving, getting that job done, whatever it may be in the community.
But when the bell rings, you don't know what you're into.
That's true. A whole variety of stuff, hazmat, fire, EMS, and truly that's what makes the jobs important when the bell's not ringing, is training and being prepared for all of those scenarios.
First Responder of the Month, brought to you by Engelbrecht Grills and Cookers. Go to grillsandcookers.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign. Way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries, open 6 days a week.
Well, we touched on the roaming buffalo in Monticello. Apparently blocked a little of the bus route yesterday. The Monticello School District number 25 superintendent is Vic Zimmerman, who himself, I understand, lassoed all the buffalo yourself on a horse. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I lassoed him. I was, riding around on one, late last night. So,
what the heck happened? Whose are these, and what happened?
So Lieb Farms out here outside of Monticello has a bison buffalo farm. I'm not sure what the difference between a bison and buffalo are, but they raise them for the meat, and they sell the meat. So apparently, they had a big escape Tuesday night, and they were roaming around the countryside and still roaming around yesterday morning. And from what I'm told from the sheriff's department, there's still 5 or 6 that are on the loose. So they may be over in Philo by now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, that could be. We'll be on the lookout. How big are these puppies? I mean, they're big, aren't they?
Oh, they're full-grown, full-size dogs. They're not puppies. The information from the sheriff's department press release said stay away from them. Just call us. So I guess they're pretty mean.
Well, I mean, we've seen buffalo and been not too close, but they'll come at you. I mean, I believe if you threaten their space, I believe you don't want to do that. These puppies are big. When I've seen full-grown buffalo, they're ginormous. So what's the process today? What are you thinking?
So there we didn't have any issues with our bus routes this morning, so
okay. All good.
They must be they must be out of the district. I'm not sure. I mean,
Vic, are you from here?
I'm from Paxton.
Okay.
Actually.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome. Central Illinois boy. That's awesome.
Yep.
You went to PBL, Paxton Buckley Loda?
It was just Paxton. I was a Mustang. We didn't have B&L back in 1982
and
when I graduated.
You probably starred in every sport, 5-sport star. I can just see it now.
That's what you do in small schools. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's right.
That's so good.
And Vic, how is it going for the Sages?
It's going great. Our first day was yesterday. 85% of our kids are in-person learning, and 15% are at-home learning. We had already planned on starting late because of a big construction project, so that's why we're kind of late to the party this year, and I think it's to our advantage to actually have started a little later to see how it's gone in other Central Illinois districts. So,
all right, so you're there all day?
All day, yeah. Well, till 1. We're dismissing. We dismiss early. We're dismissing at 1, so our teachers can teach the at-home learners in the afternoon.
Okay, and so people moving to Monticello, are they, Vic?
Oh yeah, yep.
It's
a great place to be.
It is
really.
Piatt County. It's a really, really, really good town. I'm a big fan of Monticello. It's just got it going on. Big trees, big houses. Great school system. I mean, you're in charge of are you being recruited by all the major schools now, Vic?
Well, I'm retiring in 2 years, so probably not.
You sound 38. How old are you, dude?
Well, I'm 56.
Come on, man. I should have known from the Paxton Mustang thing. That's what you're saying. Hey, listen, what are you going to do the next 50 years, Vic?
Maybe I'll open a pizza place. I don't know.
Well, maybe you can get a radio show. You have a nice voice.
Well,
maybe
I don't know. That's a tough gig right now, from what I hear.
Now you're stupid, caller. Get off of my phone.
Yeah, that's right. Why'd you call?
Vic, hey, thanks for the information. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
You too. Vic Zimmerman's his name. Didn't sound 56.
Give me a home with a buffalo roam.
Home on the range, yeah.
Yeah. Buffalo, blocking the bus route.
Yeah, unusual. All right, ESPN 93.5, 851. What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana. They make you their #1 priority.
There's nothing better than a real Texas barbecue, and no better place to get it than Hickory River Smokehouse. Every cut of beef brisket, turkey breast, pork shoulder, and on-the-bone chicken are rubbed with a signature spice blend and infused with real hickory smoke for a juicy, award-winning flavor. Open 11 to 7 for drive-thru and takeout. Now, you can skip the line and order online at hickoryriver.com. Don't miss the daily specials and family pack deal.
Hickory River Smokehouse, real Texas barbecue.
See the showroom top designer shop. Flooring Surface is your first stop.
We've all been stuck at home, looking at all the things we'd like to change about where we live. Well, Flooring Surfaces is here to help. The summer of savings starts now with discounted pricing on hundreds of the best floors around. Select in-stock hardwoods are cut by 50%. Double discounts on laminate floors and premium imported tiles start at just $125 per square foot. Flooring Surfaces stocks over 1 million square feet of flooring, so you will find a tile, hardwood, carpet, or waterproof vinyl floor that will freshen your space and save you money. We are a local business that's open to serve you in a clean and safe environment. Call 398-1990 to set up a personalized showroom experience or a safe in-home consultation. Then get ready to save with Flooring Surfaces.
See the showroom top designer shop. Flooring Surfaces, your first stop. Flooring Surfaces, your first stop.
Should have had this. That was my bad. My bad. Totally. Should have had this thing up and running. Monticello.
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam.
And they block the buses going home.
Going to school.
Yeah, what's that?
On the first day of school.
Yeah,
going to school.
Yeah, going to. Yeah, right, exactly. They're going to school. They got buffalo on there. Anyway, they've got farms out there that raise that stuff.
That's right, outside of White Heath, the Lieb Farm.
Okay, well, good luck. University of Illinois trying to hang in there, trying to stop the spread because some people are just not really participating in the fact that they've got it and they feel fine, but so they're not quarantining, and it's spreading like wildfire. It's very contagious.
Welcome to college. Beautiful weekend. Stay inside.
Well, yikes. Okay, close the liquor stores. That's my solution. Then what? Oh, then they get illegal marijuana, I guess. And close the marijuana stores. Close them all.
They're not going to do that. That's too much revenue.
And I don't think they want them to leave the community, particularly if you have it. So
that's right.
All right, Diane, we thank you.
Enjoy the day.
We'll get it going with Mike Ditka and Brother Johnny, brought to you by Max Twin City Recycling tomorrow morning at 7:35. So stand by for that segment every Friday. And thank you very much. We appreciate you joining us for our 2 hours of morning therapy every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. I am Stevie Jay. That was Diane Ducey. We'll meet tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.
Still have some back-to-school shopping to do this year? Well, look no further than the official fan store, the Fighting Illini Game Day Spirit. They have something for everyone on your shopping list, from toddlers to adults. New styles are arriving daily with hot new items from brands like Nike, Champion, and more. There's no better place to get geared up to show your love for the University of Illinois than the official fan store, the Fighting Illini Game Day Spirit. Visit them on the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campus Town, or shop online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com.
As we honor the memory of Lacey Moore from Tolono, who passed away a year ago due to a large aneurysm, during September, Brain Aneurysm Month, there's special times you can eat at Texas Roadhouse in Champaign from 4 to 10 p.m. on September 3rd. The third weekend in September, all-town garage sales in Tolono. Stop by and shop at 413 North Vorsey in Tolono. And there's a vigil at the end of the month, September 30th at 8:30, as you light a candle at your own home. For details, look up the Facebook page Honoring Lacey Moore.
They say, if you build it, they will come. The story began in 2013 when Sarah Automotive acquired Honda BMW in Savoy. And 7 years later, after unprecedented growth in sales and service, Sarah Automotive is growing. Introducing Sarah Honda BMW, Sarah Subaru, Sarah Buick GMC, and Sarah Hummer, all located off of Neal in Savoy. For all the exciting details, visit Sarah, SERRA, Champaign.com.
Right now, 1 in 3 drivers is cruising around in a state of skepticism about just how much value their car insurance company is delivering. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign can help you get to a better state, because he'll talk with you, listen to you, and help put together a policy that has you written all over it. From cost to coverage, all backed by 24/7 customer support. Feeling less skeptical? Then call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign and officially get to a better state with State Farm. Visit KurtLenschow.com today.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Let's have lunch today somewhere over the rainbow. Step inside the Flying Monkey Cafe at Curtis Orchard and enjoy delicious home cooking. Pulled pork, Italian beef, or chicken salad with au gratin potatoes, green beans, cornbread, and a slice of pie, fresh every day. The Flying Monkey offers a specially priced 12 and under menu. Follow the Yellow Brick Road to Curtis Orchard and the Flying Monkey Cafe, open 11 to 2 weekdays and 11 to 4 on weekends on Duncan Road.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. At Provident, our mission is to help people plan for and get through some of life's toughest challenges. We provide each of our clients with individualized strategies, premier service, and independent thinking to help them achieve their financial goals. Contact us today at 3017 Village Office Place in Champaign, or call 217-366-3456, or find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, Grandma, I haven't heard from you in forever. Why don't we message on the computer anymore?
I just don't trust the darn thing anymore. Viruses, people stealing my bank records. Why can't we just go back to the way it used to be? A handwritten note or a long Sunday evening phone call.
Grandma, you don't have to be scared of the internet anymore. Just contact Area Wide Technologies, 359-8041.
Thank you, Johnny. Now how about you message me that report card of yours?
Gotta go.
It's Law Enforcement Official of the Month. Alice Carey has been in law enforcement for a while. What has changed?
Well, what happened and what worked 34 years ago is certainly not working today. And we need to conform to different changes and different societal needs. And so law enforcement has done a bad job of keeping up with what we need to do as far as approaching our community.
How would you change that?
Training and procedural justice, explaining what we do and how we do it. For starters, de-escalation. Law enforcement officers wear so many hats, and so that training needs to be applied to what we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
But sometimes you're dealing with people that are really drugged up, angry, drunk. How do you de-escalate when you can't reason?
Well, that's, it's taking our time to assess the situation and getting to know what drives that person and what's the driving factor in that person, so that we can take the time, we can adjust, and we can get the resources that individual needs. That takes time.
Yeah.
Schwab didn't start a different kind of investment firm to offer the same old solutions. That's why Schwab will work with you to create a personal financial plan that fits your life and your goals, not theirs. And we'll stand behind our word with the industry's only satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy for any reason, we'll refund your fee and work with you to make things right. Visit schwab.com/compare us or call the Champaign Independent Branch at 217-689-4767. That's 689-4767.
You're listening